Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So from the Rhinebeck car show, I basically picked up big things and little things. So let's talk about the big things really first. This is an old Citation Ski-Doo Citation snowmobile. It has compression and all. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it as a snowmobile or take it apart and use the motor off of it. Depends what the track is like. So we're going to have to look at this a little further. So that was the first thing. The second thing I bought was this RM, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. It might be an RM 125. That is not the motor that goes on there. I have the actual motor that belongs on the bike. I spent $150 for the snowmobile, and this guy with two motors, the exhaust, a whole hoard of parts over here, right? You can see the spare parts, you know, the gas tank, the fenders, and so forth. See the exhaust system, and once again, a motor and all. I gave the guy $200. So those were the first two items I bought. After I bought the snowmobile and motorcycle, the Suzuki RM, I ran across a buddy of mine and he said, "Hey, I brought you a quad." I said, "Oh, what is it?" And he said, "A Bayou," and he said it had an electrical problem. It also has a bit of an ankle grinder problem here too. It needs a recoil. And I said, "Well, I already bought a couple of things. What are you after on the Kawasaki?" And he says, $100 cash. So I bought this. I have the key that goes with it, but it's got an electrical problem, so this is going to need a lot more love and attention. So let me be honest with you. I bought a Ski-Doo, a Suzuki, and a Kawasaki. And quite honestly, I was feeling like less of a man. So to make up for it, I had to buy these two Hondas. The pair of them were $350. This is an ATC 200 1983 vintage. You could see it's missing the recoil start, and to be honest, I didn't even turn it over. This is a 200S. It doesn't have a sticker on it, so I'm not exactly sure what year it is, but it does have the downshift pattern, so I'm thinking 84 time frame, just off the top of my head. I happen to like the downshift pattern. What's cool about it is you can be in neutral and you step down on it, gun it up, let it go, pop wheelies. Also for getting around turns, if you're racing side by side, drag racing, the downshift pattern, I find that you can shift it quicker. If you're kind of racing a dirt track type racing, I prefer the upshift pattern because like as you're going into a turn, you can push it down, gun the engine, and drop it, right? Which downshifts you with an upshift pattern, right? So you step on it, so you drop a gear, you gun the engine, you hold it because you're making the clutch slip. Then as you go into the turn, you let it go, and you can break the tail end loose and take it around the turn. So once again, for dragging, I prefer a downshift pattern. For racing on like an oval, I prefer an upshift pattern. So my choices. So these are the big items I bought, and you guys could see that I am very well stocked. Neither one of these Hondas came with recoils, so I got to spend some time looking into that. You can see a mouse ate the plastic and all. We'll go into these in great detail. The pair of these were $300 or $350, and to be quite honest, when somebody offers you these things so cheap, you know, what is that, $175 each, tires are good, and all, you really don't ask too many questions. You just jump on them. If you spend too much time looking at them, the next thing you know, some clown will come in and offer them $400 and you're stuck. Stuff like this, when I buy it also, I really had to make arrangements to get it home, get all this stuff home, the RM and everything else. And the Bayou was with a friend. I knew nobody was going to take it, but all this other stuff, I really wanted to make sure I got it home, because if somebody comes by and bags a gas tank, a headlight, offers the guy twice as much money or whatever, you're out, right? The guy's going to sell it and you're going to be screwed. So the real trick with this kind of stuff is to pay him and move it. You don't want to leave it there. You want to pay and move this stuff. So these are the big items, and we'll go through each one. I'll get its own video, obviously. So for those of you who like Kawasaki Bayous, you'll see that video. Whoever likes Ski-Doo Sledge, you'll see that video. And then these guys in separate videos. I normally, it just works out better that way. I stay a little more organized and so forth. I was really happy to find this 200S and ATC 200. It's got the front suspension on it, and if you guys are familiar with this front suspension, a lot of times these are blown out, so it's nice to see it in good shape. So that's it. I got to get into individual videos, and I got to deal with a car wreck. So we'll catch up with each other. I want to thank everybody for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and make sure that you drive safe. No use in having all the stuff to play with if you can't. Bye now.